Empowering a student to think is no easy task. It involves lots of practice, collaboration, discussion, and yes, struggle. It is not uncommon to hear teachers say, "How can I better prepare my students for situational problems?" Unfortunately, there is no silver bullet, and the solutions are as varied as the students sitting in front of you. So, where do we start? The answer runs along the same lines as this famous Chinese proverb: "Tell me and I'll forget. Show me and I may remember. Involve me and I'll understand." A common practice used by teachers is to model a situational problem so they can show their students different strategies to complete the question. In this video, we will discuss timely and targeted ways that will put your students at the center of the thinking process. We'd like to show you how to support your students in building their own understanding of how to solve situational problems. Competency 1, to solve a situational problem, involves the following evaluation criteria: understanding the situational problem, correct application of mathematical concepts and processes, and finally, organization and validation. The tasks shown in this video will target ways of improving a student's understanding of a problem, as well as aid in developing students' capabilities to organize and validate their work. Students often have difficulty solving situational problems because they have a hard time understanding and making sense of the problem inside the text. Does this sound familiar? They just add all the numbers. It doesn't matter what the problem says. They don't stop to think. They just start computing as soon as they're done reading the problem. Students will often disregard the context of the situational problem and will instead look for the numbers needed to find the answer, whether it makes sense or not. This is called a compulsion to calculate. One way to tackle this issue is to give students numberless tasks. Numberless tasks are word problems where numbers are temporarily taken out. This provides students with opportunities to think through and understand the problem before they have numbers. Numbers are gradually reintroduced to students until they have all the information they need to solve the problem. Numberless tasks are a great way to help students think about a problem instead of mimicking a procedure seen in class. Check out the resources to see more examples of numberless tasks. A second way to help students improve their understanding is through 3-act math tasks. These tasks foster student curiosity, discussion, and reflection. They also provide opportunities for students to tackle the problem in lots of different ways. In Act 1, students are shown a short video or image and are asked to think about what they notice and wonder. This is meant to engage as well as perplex students. During Act 2, students seek more information and start to work on finding solutions to their problems. They are provided with more information. Finally, in Act 3, students will share their work, their thinking, and their solutions with the class. The teacher will then share the solution and will continue the discussion. 3-act math tasks are another way to get your students to improve their understanding of problems, and they're fun too. Check out the resources to see more examples of 3-act math tasks. You may have noticed that some student work is much easier to review and assess than others. Some students simply seem to be better at organizing and presenting their solutions. A quick look into their lockers and desks can certainly give you insight into their organizational tendencies. However, it is possible to explicitly teach students how and why it is important to organize and validate their solutions to situational problems. Providing students with opportunities to look at sample student work can be time well spent. One way to build this competency is to provide students with both disorganized and organized sample solutions to the same problem without showing them the question. Students are then asked to figure out what the problem is about and to reflect and discuss on which samples are easier to understand. An extension activity could be to have students work together to fix the disorganized work. When preparing students for situational problems, we also want to teach them how to validate their work. Often, students will finish a question and won't check to see whether or not the answer makes sense. Initiating discussions about the reasonableness of an answer can be a great way to encourage students to think about their answers. For example, you could show your students the following pictures and ask which price is more reasonable and why. The more we practice this with our students, the more they will do this on their own. We want students to be able to articulate what a problem is about and to begin developing their own strategies for solving them. It takes time and a flexible approach to develop this competency. If we use strategies like numberless tasks to improve student understanding or discuss the plausibility of solutions, we will not only help our students develop their ability to solve situational problems, but we will also help them become better thinkers in the real world. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to know more about any of the activities discussed in this video, or you would like to learn about other ways to help your students with situational problems, please reach out to your math consultant.